Hello, and we have arrived at September 18th. On this day, in 1947, the American government created the Air Force as its own branch of the U.S. military. Now, up until then, the Air Force was just part of the regular Army and had been used in cases like going all the way back to the Civil War, where they used observation balloons that would just go up so they could view how the other side was all lined up for battle. But it's grown over the years, and again, on this day, 1947, the U.S. Air Force is born of its own. And you know it wouldn't be National Day with me if there wasn't food involved. Unlike the other day when it was National Double Cheeseburger Today, today is just National Cheeseburger Day! The cheeseburger got its start, so they say, in 1926 in Pasadena, California, at a place called The Right Spot. They claimed that they dropped cheese on the patty as it was on the grill, and the rest was history. However, in 1935, it was Humpty Dumpty's Drive-In in Colorado that got the patent on the actual cheeseburger. Either way, yum. And thank you. The third Friday in September brings us National Tradesman Day. All the skilled trades, the electricians, the plumbers, the carpenters, the backbone of building our country. Today we honor them in getting things rolling. On a pretty serious note, today is also POW MIA Recognition Day, and that is also the third Friday in September. In 1998, the Defense Authority Act created this day. POW, or Prisoners of War, MIA, Missing in Action. All the great men and women who have gone before us and served our country, either we did not find after a battle, or were taken prisoner by our enemies. Today is the day that we honor them and thank them for their service, or thank their families for their service. On this date in 1679, New Hampshire was officially created when it broke away from Massachusetts to become its own royal colony with Portsmouth as the capital. Up until then, it had been known as Upper Plantation, and as I mentioned, was part of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. In 1755, Fort Ticonderoga opens in New York. Fort Ticonderoga would become a focal point for an early revolutionary victory in the Revolutionary War, when the colonists took it over to gain cannons, their first real large artillery, to fight against the British in their fight for independence. Yesterday, September 17th, was Constitution Day. Our forefathers met in the city of Philadelphia and got the Constitution rolling. Well, for the most part, we viewed Philadelphia as our nation's capital. However, in 1793, on this date, September 18th, George Washington laid down the cornerstone in the Washington, D.C. area between Maryland and Virginia to what would now create our nation's capital. It was not yet called the White House. That wouldn't happen until the War of 1812. But for now, we were moving the capital to the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. In July of 1947, President Harry S. Truman ordered the creation of the CIA, which would watch over foreign involvement in American affairs. Finally, on September 18th of 47, it was officially brought into being. September is the time for new shows to start airing on TV, and in 1964, The Addams Family kicked off a string of some of the great shows of my childhood. 1965 saw Get Smart begin. And last but not least for this one, in 1965 on September 18th, I Dream of Jeannie. In 2001, America was on edge as a bioterrorist attack, just a week after the Twin Towers were hit, began to appear. Anthrax, which can be found in nature or easily produced in the lab, was put in letters and sent off to Tom Brokaw, as well as a few other media outlets, as well as congressional offices. And as they opened it up, and here's the thing about anthrax, it's airborne, so you can get it in just by breathing if someone releases it in the air. And it is quite deadly if you get it. So again, we were looking around as things were being mailed from, believe it or not, a school in Franklin Park, New Jersey was the return address, a completely made up address. But again, America was on edge worrying about bioterrorism. Happy birthday, Greta Garbo, 1905. This Swedish-born actress came to America and was known not only for her beauty, but also for her melancholy or kind of dark roles, as almost everything she did seemed to be tragic. Also celebrating a birthday today is former presidential candidate and now Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Ben Carson. Happy birthday from 1961 to Tony Soprano, actually known as James Gandolfini is the actor's name, but from The Sopranos, James Gandolfino, happy birthday. 1971 sees Lance Armstrong, American cyclist, great fame. I did run into a little problem with blood doping, but again, one of our greatest cyclists. And in 1976, one you guys may know, Ronaldo. Enjoy some of his highlights. Well, gang, there it is. We've reached the end of September 18th. You know the drill. Say it for me, everybody. Please. Thank you. Be kind. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.